Joe Biden. Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., born November 20, 1942, is the 46th President of the United States, serving since 2021. A Democrat, he was the 47th Vice President under President Barack Obama from 2009 to 2017 and a U.S. Senator from Delaware from 1973 to 2009. Biden was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and moved to Delaware in 1953. He graduated from the University of Delaware in 1965 and earned a law degree from Syracuse University in 1968. His political career began with his election to the New Castle County Council in 1970 and then to the U.S. Senate in 1972. Notably, he helped pass the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act and the Violence Against Women Act. After unsuccessful presidential bids in 1988 and 2008, Biden became Obama's vice president. In 2020, he chose Kamala Harris as his running mate and won the presidency, making Harris the first female vice president. As president, Biden signed the American Rescue Plan Act to address the COVID-19 pandemic, passed bipartisan infrastructure and manufacturing bills, and enacted the Inflation Reduction Act. He appointed Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court and managed the 2023 debt ceiling crisis. His foreign policy actions included rejoining the Paris Agreement, withdrawing troops from Afghanistan, and supporting Ukraine and Israel. In April 2023, Biden announced his 2024 re-election bid but withdrew in July 2024 after a poor debate performance and health concerns. His net worth. President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden have an estimated net worth of $10 million, according to Forbes. In 2023, they earned approximately $620,000 before taxes. This information was disclosed in their tax return, released by the White House in April 2024. His early life. Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. was born on November 20, 1942, at St. Mary's Hospital in Scranton, Pennsylvania, to Catherine Eugenia Jean Biden, née Finnegan, and Joseph Robinette Biden Sr. He is the oldest child in a Catholic family of English, French, and Irish descent, with a sister, Valerie, and two brothers, Francis and James. Initially, Biden's father was wealthy, and the family lived in an affluent Long Island suburb, but financial setbacks forced them to move in with Biden's maternal grandparents in Scranton. In 1953, the Bidens moved to an apartment in Claymont, Delaware, and later to a house in Mayfield, as Biden Sr. found success as a used car salesman, maintaining a middle-class lifestyle. Biden attended Archmere Academy in Claymont, where he played baseball and football, serving as a standout halfback and wide receiver. Despite being a poor student, he was class president in his junior and senior years, graduating in 1961. He went on to the University of Delaware in Newark, where he briefly played freshman football and earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1965 with a double major in history and political science. Biden struggled with a stutter, which he worked to overcome by reciting poetry in front of a mirror. His personal life. Shortly after being elected to the Senate, Joe Biden's wife Nylia and their one-year-old daughter Naomi died in a car accident on December 18, 1972. The accident occurred while Nylia was Christmas shopping in Hockessin, Delaware, when her station wagon was struck by a semi-trailer truck. Their sons, Bo and Hunter, were also in the car but survived with non-life-threatening injuries. Bo had a broken leg and other wounds, while Hunter had a minor skull fracture and head injuries. Biden considered resigning to care for his injured sons, but Senate Majority Leader Mike Mansfield convinced him to stay. During this period, Biden struggled with intense grief, anger, and religious doubt, feeling as though he had been subjected to a cruel twist of fate and had difficulty focusing on his work. In 1975, Joe Biden met Jill Tracy Jacobs on a blind date, and they married at the United Nations Chapel in New York on June 17, 1977. They spent their honeymoon at Lake Balaton in Hungary. Jill is credited with rekindling Biden's interest in both politics and life. The couple regularly attends Mass at St. Joseph's on the Brandywine in Greenville, Delaware. Together, they have a daughter, Ashley Biden, who works as a social worker and is married to physician Howard Krein. Jill also helped raise Biden's sons from his previous marriage, Bo and Hunter. Bo served as an Army judge advocate in Iraq and later as Delaware Attorney General before passing away from brain cancer in 2015. Hunter has worked as a lobbyist and investment advisor, though his business dealings and personal life have faced significant scrutiny during his father's presidency. On August 27, 1966, Joe Biden married Nylia Hunter, a Syracuse University student, despite her parents' initial reluctance about her marrying a Catholic. The ceremony took place in a Catholic church in Skaneateles, New York. The couple had 3 children, Joseph R. Beau Biden III, Robert Hunter Biden, and Naomi Christina Amy Biden. Career. Joe Biden earned his Juris Doctor from Syracuse University College of Law in 1968, despite initially failing a course due to plagiarism, which was later rectified. He graduated 76th out of 85 students and was admitted to the Delaware bar in 1969. Biden initially clerked for a Republican law firm and considered himself a Republican but registered as an independent due to his dislike for Richard Nixon. By 1969, he practiced law as a public defender and in a Democratic law firm, which led him to join the Democratic Forum and eventually register as a Democrat. Biden also managed properties to supplement his income. Leadership career. Joe Biden's leadership career, spanning over 5 decades up to 2024, highlights significant achievements in both legislative and executive roles. Senate career. Biden was elected to the U.S. Senate in 1972 and became one of the youngest senators in history. He focused on consumer protection, environmental issues, and government accountability, and played a key role in passing significant legislation, including the Comprehensive Crime Control Act of 1984, the 1994 Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act, and the Violence Against Women Act. He chaired the Senate Judiciary Committee, overseeing contentious Supreme Court nominations and championing criminal justice reform. As a member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, he became a prominent voice on international affairs, advocating for intervention in the Balkans during the Yugoslav wars and supporting NATO's intervention in Kosovo. Vice Presidency. From 2009 to 2017, Biden served as vice president under President Barack Obama. He managed the economic recovery from the 2008 financial crisis, helped pass the Affordable Care Act, and led the implementation of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. He also played a key role in foreign policy, including the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Iraq and the mission that killed Osama bin Laden. Presidency. Elected as the 46th president in 2020, Biden's administration focused on combating the COVID-19 pandemic, stimulating economic recovery, and addressing systemic inequalities. His administration passed the American Rescue Plan for Economic Relief, launched a comprehensive vaccination campaign, and invested in infrastructure through the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. In foreign policy, he aimed to rebuild alliances and reassert U.S. global leadership. Biden's legacy reflects a career dedicated to public service, marked by significant legislative achievements, effective foreign policy, and a focus on addressing critical domestic and global challenges. With that, thanks for watching and kindly like, share and subscribe for more videos.